I'm Kai from Mustang FM. I'm so glad to have you here with me on Zoom talking about your latest release. And how are you doing, James Bay? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. I'm good. I'm all right. I mean, given this crazy world where we can't travel and, you know, not to sort of just think about myself, but musicians can't be on tour. It's a difficult time.
Yeah.
I like to think that normally right now I would be in a studio with you. That's what I think should be happening. It's very nice that we can do this, but it's a shame I can't be with you where you are. So it's strange in that respect because I'd probably be coming to talk to you and then I'd hopefully be going to do a show. Yeah, so it's a weird time. How are you? Are you dealing with it all right?
Well, we're dealing with it all right. I mean, the best thing about technology, though, is that we still can communicate. And me as a radio announcer, I can still announce from home. There was a time before we now can get back out there again. I was a couple of months actually going on air from home that, hey, it's opened to a lot of, you know, different kind of interview kind of doors as well for us, for announcers, and these opportunities we love. But I mean, I'm glad you're doing all right. And worldwide pandemic aside, there is a different energy to you, especially in your social media presence. I mean, I've been appreciating your weekly guitar lessons. Let's start there. How did you get the idea? I mean, I used to play guitar, but you know, your lessons have been quite the little refresher that I may have needed.
Oh, great. No, how did I get there? I wasn't like a particularly kind of avid social media user before lockdown, but it's obviously been a great remedy for how distant we've all felt from each other at a time when we're supposed to be doing this sort of social distance thing. I thought to myself, okay, fine, we've got to stay distant, but let's stay social as well and be in touch. So Instagram Live has given me that opportunity because I've got lots of followers and fans on there. So it's just become a really lovely and wonderful sort of way to stay in touch with everybody, to stay connected. And I taught, when I was about 18 years old, I taught guitar for a year and it was okay. I did all right. So I thought, given I kind of know how to do that, I'll try and do it on Instagram and sort of keep it as engaging as I can. I play people the song, I talk to people a little bit, and I show them exactly what I'm doing with my fingers. So it's been a nice thing to have. And even doing it so regularly has been nice as well, like once a week.
But it's been like even more practice for you as well, right? The honing the skills before you get back out there again.
Oh, absolutely. But boy, can I not wait to get back out there.
Well, I can feel that, you know, because I think it's all of us being able to travel internationally. I think it's still a long way to go. But as I said before, I've been following you on social media and listening to Chew on My Heart a lot. I have to tell you, I feel like this is such a brave single. And you mentioned in an interview recently that you were talking about taking your music to the next level and showing a different side of you in your songs. I mean, I feel it. And just the way you're present in your social media these days, there's a fresh breath of life in your latest songs. And
thank you so much.
Yes, we love it. So what were you trying to say to start this new era of yours?
I guess I kind of didn't realize what I was trying to say while I was writing these songs, as strange as that might sound. I thought, so I've written lots of songs in the past from a kind of sad, emotional place, from a kind of place of heartbreak. And that's always been quite natural for me. So I've embraced it. And I thought I was doing the same thing because I was writing these songs for this third album and it was all emotional in a way that I've experienced as I write songs before. But then when the lockdown began, which is just after I finished writing all the songs, and I'd finished recording all of these songs, the lockdown started and I had this bit of free time where I could just, no one was doing anything, everything had stopped, and I listened to the song. I listened back through all the songs as a collection of songs. And I realized this strong thread of sort of positivity running through it all. And that really, as I listened to the lyrics, relates entirely to my 13-year-long relationship with my girlfriend. We've been together for all that time since we were kids. And she's been such a strong foundation for me, and she stood by me through all sorts of wild, crazy sort of experiences over the last few years. And it's this whole album, and particularly Chew on My Heart, is this big showing of gratitude, and it's almost a tribute to her and to that relationship. And I realized, That's the big, one of the biggest changes for me in this new music is I've written something so emotionally positive rather than sort of emotionally sad and negative,
Yeah.
which I never really thought I could do. And I've managed to do it.
Mm. I mean, it's funny because it's like for you in singing, when you're passionate and something fuels a fire in you, whenever you speak about it or maybe sing about it, it'll
Yeah.
ignite it in your songs or in your speech. So I feel like, oh, so that's the inspiration. That's where the fire
Yeah.
comes from.
Yeah, I
And
realized it doesn't always have to be like sadness. So you're absolutely right.
mm. So, having that said there, you mentioned earlier you're not a very social media savvy person before all this happened,
Right.
and but you've been opening up to your fans, staying connected to your fans, and showing some of your, you know, personal space on social media. Just because you made that transition, I'm a little bit curious. How comfortable were you in the beginning sharing your personal space?
I've never been particularly comfortable doing it, but I recognize that it's okay. I think I've always just thought I wanted to sort of maintain. I still think to some degree that I want to maintain some privacy because I want to be able to
Yes.
go out in the world and deliver what's expected, and then I want to be able to come home
Mhm.
and you know, not have to exist in that mind
Separate.
all the
Yes.
time. Yeah, I want to separate the things, but I recognize that it's okay that they're not necessarily that separated all the time. That's all right. And I didn't see it as, I didn't see that it was as all right before. So it's yeah, I've enjoyed sort of not separating so much.
Well, diving into it a little bit more, and we're as fans and followers, we're glad that you are, and of course we understand the means of privacy and everything, but
Sure.
it's yeah, I guess I was just a bit curious because some people make that transition and are not always very comfortable in the beginning, but I guess it's just the mindset and you know exactly what you're doing. So yeah, we're happy.
Yeah. All of that. Oh, I'm glad people are sort of enjoying it, and it's nice to sort of reveal and just sort of be myself a little bit more. It's lovely.
And I think it's just good timing because there is a lot more you and a lot more fire in your latest song. So I know this will fire up your fans a little bit more.
Right.
So one thing I have to ask though, because we've been quarantined for a while, I mean, it was intensely for the first couple of months. Could you share with us 3 things you could not live without during the time you had to stay at home?
Okay, during the time I had to stay at home, that's good. So there's a guy in the UK
Uh-huh.
who's, his name is Joe Wicks. He's like a fitness, like workout body coach kind of,
Oh,
and he's
okay.
I mean, he exists mainly sort of online on YouTube, and he became a bit of a national treasure throughout throughout lockdown in the UK for what he did every morning for school kids who couldn't go to school. He just went
Yeah.
online and he streamed a workout for little kids. But he's also
Yeah.
been putting up different kind of plans and all that sort of stuff. I'm not someone who goes to the gym. That's not really sort of my thing. I don't really enjoy that. But I have come to not be able to live without Joe Wicks's workouts every morning, 5 times a week throughout lockdown. It's really helped my mental health, let alone my kind of physical health.
Yeah.
Because all of that
Yeah.
energy and those endorphins have sort of helped me. So that's become a really
Yeah.
sort of vital thing. And I think, in a way, to be honest, at number 2, I came to really enjoy that kind of once a week. It started out a couple times a week, but then it went to once a week, the Instagram Live thing. I just
Yeah.
enjoy it because I currently live in a world where I don't have a tour booked, I don't have a show in the
Yeah.
diary, and I'm not like going to a venue to sound check and play to a lot of people. To have that regularity of like, okay, I've got to, you know, on Friday at 5 p.m, I've got to perform. I've got
Yeah.
to sort of put on a bit of a show, albeit a sort of at home, quite candid thing.
Yeah.
I've come to like really, really like rely on and enjoy that. And then I guess number 3, what's number 3 that I can't live without at home? I mean, it's this doesn't really count, but I'm going to say it because it applies to kind of every day of my life, whatever's going on. And that's having a guitar at home. I have lots of guitars. I have too many guitars. I don't keep them
Okay.
at home. I don't keep them all at home. But I've got to have at least one, and it's been vital. And I've enjoyed, I'll tell you what it is, really. It's something I use the guitar for. Number 3 is writing. Even though I've got all these new songs ready, for a third album. It's actually it's been vital to carry on writing at home. That keeps things sharp.
All right, that's very nice. And speaking of, you finished all of the songs in your upcoming album. So an album is in the works. And
Yeah.
so far, can you give us a couple of hints? What can you tell us about this new era of James Bay?
Yeah, well, it's kind of got this big kind of positive thing. It's positive energy about it. So I'm really looking forward to people hearing that. It's sort of uplifting, and it's a bit of a sort of arm around the shoulder. You know, it's less heartbroken and it's more heart open.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm enjoying that. I feel like there's a couple more guitars. There's always guitars in my music, so you'll hear guitars, but like it's lyrically, it's most different in the lyrics. There's all of this positivity. So I'm looking forward to people hearing that and experiencing that, and hopefully it resonating with them.
Oh, well, we just can't wait. And well, we're about to meet some of your fans in Indonesia in just a little bit. How excited are you?
Very excited because I haven't seen any of them since 2018.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, we did a little bit of a competition. So we selected 5 who kind of wrote the best questions for Mr. James Bay.
Amazing.
So I hope you're ready for them, and I hope you're ready to meet them, because I was about to ask you this next question, but I know that one of the fans is going to ask you this question. So I'm going to save it for them, for the honor. So if you want now, you can take a bit of a break. Well, my interview is done. I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for on-air purposes, is there anything you would love to say to your Indonesian fans before we actually meet some of them?
I would love to say to my Indonesian fans that I love you, and I hate that it's been so long since I've been there. I will be back one way or another. I will be back in Indonesia to play shows. I know that we don't know how or when that's going to happen yet, but I'm coming one way or another all the way over to you, so we can do live music again.
Well, we're looking forward to it. But first and foremost, we're looking forward to your album as well. So
Thank
have
you.
a good rest. I will see you in a couple of minutes.
I'll be back in a minute.
We're going to get the fans back in. Thank you.
Thank you. See ya.